Howdy, folks. Woody Wallace from NeedCoffee.com here. Back again for another Wayhomer review. Here's how it works for the uninitiated. I've just seen a film. It's in the cinema. I'm not going to point because I don't want the camera to swing around and try to kill someone because people die that way. I've just seen a film, and I'm going to tell you about that film on my way home because it's just simply easier that way and more time efficient. And today we're here to talk about Lincoln. Okay, so, Lincoln. Synopsis. President Lincoln is, well, first of all, he lived quite a while. But this film takes a snippet towards the end of his life, well, at the end of his life, the last 4 months of his life, where he basically rammed through Congress the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery, while juggling family, politics, war, pretty much everything that you could possibly juggle, except, you know, like bowling balls dipped in kerosene. And you know what, the way Lincoln was going, if he didn't, I would have been surprised to see him juggling flaming bowling balls, or at least to tell a story about people, you know, juggling flaming bowling balls, with everyone listening intently and then laughing in all the right places. But yeah, so basically it is the story of Lincoln and the 13th Amendment and getting that pushed through at exactly the right time and by the skin of their relative teeth. So, that's your synopsis. Okay, so here's the thing. Steven Spielberg film, okay? You know how Spielberg has that sort of, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's not plasticine, it's not necessarily rubbery, but it's kind of got that not real feeling, which is never a bad thing, because I mean, this is the guy who did Raiders, this is the guy who did E.T., right? You want a little bit of fantasy in there. But even his stuff, I mean, not Schindler's List, but even his stuff where he's doing history, like Amistad, still, even though it has some gravitas to it and has moments of just, whoa, there's still, like, you know, I don't know, a lightness going on. Which I guess just is there to help punctuate the moments of whoa, of which there are several in this film. So it's a Spielberg film. The script itself, I had moments where I was very, very aware that if you did not have the cast assembled that you do in this film, trying to speak dialogue like is in the film, and I don't know if that's simply the way that they talked or that, I don't know, but it just seemed very odd, and not even odd from like an archaic, you know, manner of speaking where they're talking and you get the idea that nobody talks like that anymore. Not even like that, but just certain things that felt very on the nose, very, by the way, I am explaining this through dialogue, types of things, okay? Which, again, if you had put it in the mouths of anybody else other than the assembled cast, not just Daniel Day-Lewis, not just Sally Field, but the assembled cast, okay, then it would have fallen right on its face. I get that distinct impression. That's how I felt pretty much through the majority of the film. So yes, so you've got that kind of, it felt a little wobbly from a directorial standpoint. It felt a little shaky from a writing standpoint, and I understand. I mean, first of all, you're dealing with this story, which is a huge, powerful story, and that's not easy to do. And you're basically trying to figure out, how do we take, because I read something, a comment from the author, that they took there's a snippet that they took the information from the book that the film is based on. You know what I'm saying? basically saying that there's just too much. I mean, there's just too much for a feature film. That they had to pick, you know, a time period and a story, and they went with this one and the last 4 months of his life. Now, all of that being said, while the film is going on, you don't give a rat's ass about any of it, because basically you're watching, first of all, like I said, the cast of just, I mean, a ridiculous cast. Just ridiculous. I mean, you know, Tommy Lee Jones and James Spader and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and just everywhere you turn, it's like, here's another Michael Stolberg. Everywhere you turn, there's an excellent actor, and pretty much not a bad one in the bunch. Even when you've got, like, as Thespia pointed out, Tommy Lee Jones, who's basically playing Tommy Lee Jones in a wig. You don't care, I mean, first of all, because it's Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones at this point is like Sean Connery. You know, if Tommy Lee Jones was piloting the Red October, captaining the Red October, you wouldn't care, because it's Tommy Lee Jones. But, I mean, even when it's something like that, where you know that they are not going the Daniel Day-Lewis, I will become the role type of thing, you don't care, because they're still just working it, right? But, when it comes to working it, what I want to say to Daniel Day-Lewis and Sally Field, and I wanted to say this pretty much like after their second or third scene, is for God's sake, just stop and take your Oscars and stop killing me. You're breaking my heart and you're killing me, all right? Because, first of all, okay, I love Sally Field, all right? And she is amazing. She is like a dynamo. I mean, not as in like whirling dervish type of thing, but she is like that. Her Mrs. Lincoln all but says, I will cut you, okay? If her Mrs. Lincoln said, I will cut you, you would totally go like, holy shit, because you would totally believe it, because it's Sally Field and she's working it, all right? But holy crap, okay? Daniel Day-Lewis, let me tell you about Daniel Day-Lewis, okay? Daniel Day-Lewis, when I first saw Daniel Day-Lewis, it was My Left Foot, okay? Not my actual left foot, the film My Left Foot, where he's playing Chrissy Brown with palsy, right? His performance was so convincing, because I'd never seen him before. I had no idea who he was. I honestly thought there was an actor with palsy that they had gotten to play the role, maybe not as severe as was let on, but I was like, there's no way in hell this guy's not, you know? Then, next thing I saw him in, Last of the Mohicans. He's buff, he's, you know, shirtless, he's running around, he's blowing people away with, like, a long rifle. I'm just like, what the hell, right? Because he's, like, sprinting through the woods. I will find you, right? I'm like, what the hell? So, Daniel Day-Lewis is a guy who can pretty much, when he decides that he's going to play a role, he doesn't play the role, he's the role, right? So Daniel Day-Lewis on screen is not Daniel Day-Lewis on screen. You just watch him. Try to make yourself go, that's Daniel Day-Lewis. Your brain will go, hell no, that's Abraham Lincoln. I know what I'm looking at. Amazing. Just an amazing performance. And what's crazy...
Talk about the voice.
Oh no, I was going to talk about the voice. But what's crazy is that when you really, I mean, when you look at him, when you actually just go, when you stop and you force your brain to go, okay, no, really look at him. I'm like, they got the beard action going on, the hair configuration, right? And the hair up top, right? And they've aged him. But that's it. That's it. The rest, the majority of it is still Daniel Day-Lewis. But he's just selling it so well, he's working it so well that you just go, that's Lincoln. And that's what Thespia was alluding to, is I'd heard that he basically went to, because nobody knows what Lincoln actually sounded like, they don't have any recordings, but he went to experts and said, what would he sound like, because he lived here for this long, and he lived here, and he'd done this, and what would a person who had gone through all of that sound like? And that's how he created the voice. And what's crazy is, not only does he freaking look like Lincoln, I mean, to the point where your brain just goes, that's Lincoln, I'm sorry, I know I'm watching a Spielberg film, but somehow he's channeling Lincoln. I mean, it's crazy. But he sounds like what in my head Lincoln is supposed to sound like. Just like, you know how you just picture, when you see somebody, you picture what they must sound like, or when you hear somebody, you picture what they must look like. Well, Lincoln, for some reason, I don't know how he did this, but it sounds like Lincoln. Even though we don't know what the hell Lincoln actually sounded like. Absolutely amazing performance. And I'm like, at this point, I'm trying to think, who in the hell is going to be able to top that for an Oscar? And I would like to think nobody was going to top Sally Field for Best Supporting Actress, because it was just amazing. And there's a scene in which they are both just tearing at each other. Not physically, but just like emotionally and mentally and verbally. And you're just going, oh, just stop. Would you just stop, please? You're killing me. You both are killing me. It's absolutely amazing. And, I mean, an incredibly powerful and moving film, mostly because you have the cast in there to just sell the parts that feel like they, you know, I won't say that it goes like 100% Lifetime television, but on occasion you just go, there's a line or two in there where you just go, oh wow, that was really kind of cheesy. I mean, I understand why you did that, but wow. But again, it's coming out of the mouths of incredible actors where you don't even care because you're just watching it happen. It's really quite amazing. It's really quite an excellent film with some excellent performances. And I'm just, you know, even going into it knowing that Daniel Day-Lewis was going to blow me away, completely blew me away. But I think even more than that, even more surprising than that, was the fact that the entire ensemble, pretty much across the board, I mean, I can't think of anything weak in there at all, any weak person at all. They pretty much, I think, you know what it is? I remember this. I said this before. Daniel Day-Lewis has the acting equivalent of the Speed Force, right? When Daniel Day-Lewis walks onto your set, every single actor suddenly gets better. It's amazing, right? Winona Ryder's best two films, what were they? Oh, that's right. She was opposite Daniel Day-Lewis, right? He just imbues everyone on the set with everyone going, holy shit, if he's here, I better just up this, you know, I better do my AA game. Holy crap. So it's quite astounding. So yes, cup-wise, I think that I am very happy to give it a 4 out of 5, and I would give it more. First of all, that's the cast right there carrying that. I would give it more, but like I said, at times I really felt the Spielbergian kind of odd sort of rubbery direction going on. And there were bits of the script where I just was thankful for the cast, where the bottom fell out and they went, no, it's okay, I got this. That's how it seemed to me. I don't know. And like I said, maybe some of that is actual dialogue. I don't know. They had transcripts from the floor of the House of Representatives and they knew that they had said this. I have no idea. Maybe it's the fact that it's, you know, potentially archaic language and nobody talks like that anymore. I have no idea. But I do know that I am happy with 4 out of 5 for it. Now, should you see it? Yes, you should. Catch a matinee, as always, to save some coin, but do see it. And I would say see it on the big screen, because while it's not, you know, crazy explodo type of film, the production design, the art, the costumes, everything, the world that they recreated for this cast to walk around in and kick ass in is quite amazing and deserves to be seen large. So, yes, that's what I would say. Very happy with the film. Very blown away, especially by the two main performances, Sally Field and Daniel Day-Lewis. Damn. Just damn. Anyway, so there you go. See it. What I would say is thank you for all of you people who come and watch the Wayhomers and enjoy these things. If you do enjoy them, we ask that you please share them with someone that you love through whatever social network that you normally use, Facebook or Twitter or whatever the hell it is, you know, MyFace, whatever it is, I don't know. Use it and love it and abuse it if possible. And as always, thank you to everyone who supports these because they do cost money to create. And if you throw some coin in the tin, it helps us do more of these and do them without feeling like that we have to sell an internal organ of some description. So you go to needcoffee.com/support, and that is how you can support us. So until next time, this is me, and I will see you on the Wayhomer Reviews. Bye.
Do you want to say anything else?
No, I'm good.
You want to say just damn?
Just damn.